Hey guys. So, as I think I've said many times before, that I'm going to be an empty nester. My daughter will be graduating high school in the spring. And there is a lot of feelings and emotions happening on both ends with her and myself. But I wanted to just talk about some of those things that are going on and maybe help some other people who are going through this, who may be empty nesters soon themselves, of what I'm trying to do to cope, what the plan is. So, number one, dealing with my feelings and my being anxious. Like, you know, everywhere your child is for the most part when they're living at home. You know what they're doing for the most part. It's just a different feeling than when they're away at school and you're just hoping that you're that little voice in their head saying, don't do this, don't go there, don't go with them, don't trust them. Just thinking about that is making my chest hurt. So there's a lot of just anxiety with that. And that will be the first time that we're away from each other, like really away from each other. I think the most time I've had apart from my daughter is like 5th grade camp. Honestly, like we are always together. So this is an awakening for both of us. We're both like, what's happening? It's like separating from a relationship of 18 years. The second thing, that was the other thing I wanted to say. I drove past a high school the other day and the high school had countdown to graduation. Why did I get teary-eyed? I was like, are we counting down already? Can we wait till second semester? I'm just not ready. It's like I'm ready, but I'm not at the same time. There's a lot of emotions with this. One part of me is like, yeah, you got to go. You got to go to college. Come on, let's go to college. But on the other hand, I'm like, my baby is not going to be in my home. Like, I can't just pick her up from the party or the event. It's just a totally different ballgame. So one of the things that I was thinking about doing, this is number 2, as far as, and this is something I think you should work on if you're an empty nester or getting ready to be one, is reconnecting with either your partner. Maybe you have a partner, friends, or maybe you get a partner. Before, my plan when I had a boyfriend was to, I'd be able to spend more time with him, maybe weekends away, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to jump back into a relationship or not. Maybe eventually, I don't know. But I'll have the time to do that. I'll have time to plan a girls' trip. I'll have time to spend more time with my friends like I used to. Whether or not they have time is another thing. But, I'll have that time. So that's something that I look forward to. And that's something that I get to go back to after all this time. It's not that I didn't see my friends at all in the past 18 years, but it was limited, and some of them are married, they have kids too. It's life happens. You're not able to just be with your friends like you once were. But that's something that, as I become an empty nester, I want to get back to. Number 3 is pursuing your passions. A lot of times when you become a parent, and this is whether you're a single parent or not, you tend to give up some of those dreams and passions that you had for your kids. Maybe they play a sport. Maybe they play an instrument. Maybe you're paying for them to go away to whatever camp in the summer. So you don't necessarily tend to put money into your passions. And one of my biggest passions is dancing. I've taken all kind of dance classes. I even took ballet. I don't know why. I was in California at the time. Definitely not a ballet body, but it was fun. But I love dance, all kinds of dance. And so to be able to go back to that and take dance classes, I think is definitely number 1 on the list. Definitely cannot wait to get back to that. I also don't mind traveling alone. That is like I remember going by myself places all the time, and I haven't done that in forever. So if I don't have someone to go, even if I did have someone to go with me, I will go by myself. So that's also something I look forward to. And maybe that's something that you would look forward to, is traveling alone. One of the things, so I was scrolling TikTok one day, and there was a chateau or something in France that housed women for a week, women from all over, and they had all these different activities, and it costs maybe like $2,500, $2,600 for the full week. Meals included, all the activities were included. There was a lot of options of activities, and you could do them or not do them, your choice. But it was so beautiful, and I want to go there so bad. I looked up the wait list, 2 years it's booked, which is fine, because that will be this past year, another year. So maybe my daughter's sophomore year of high school, I'll get to go. But I definitely want to go. It just looked like heaven. So yeah, just figure out whatever your passions once were, if you have some new ones, and pursuing that. Number 4, staying connected to my daughter. Although she's going away to college, I'm definitely still going to call her and say, hey, pack a bag. Can you go this weekend to such and such? There's going to be times where I go see her for a weekend, or whatever the case may be. She's going to be in a distance where I can drive to her. So maybe we go get together and we go have lunch and we go shopping, a little girls' weekend. That is definitely going to be part of the plan, because although she's gone and she's finding her own way and making friends, and maybe she's going to be in a relationship or whatever, I still want to be a huge part of her world. And I want us to, still have those times that we're really close. We're like this. So we're definitely going to, she's like, Mom, you better not take trips with me all the time. You need to call me. I can miss class. I'm like, you don't have to miss class. We can plan them around that. So that's definitely going to be part of it. And number 5, last but not least, think about exploring new opportunities, such as maybe your education. I already went to school. I could go back. The idea of writing a paper doesn't sound exciting, but that is now a possibility, that I could go back and do these things and not have to worry about the time taken away from my daughter. And that is a big thing. A lot of times we put our studies aside when you have kids at home. And I'm a single mom, so I didn't have too many other options. It was up to me, And I went to get my EMT license, and I failed the very last test. And I need to retake basically the whole class. And I thought about doing it, but it's very time consuming. It's 4 months, but it's like 4 intense months. Like, it's your entire life. And so I was like, it's about to be my daughter's senior year. I don't want to do that while it's her senior year. So that is an option for me to go back and try that again. But I've also thought about some other things that I might be interested in. So we'll see. But now those are things that I can think about doing now that I'm becoming an empty nester. And maybe those are some things that you can think about doing. Think about your passions. Think about school. Think about spending more time with your partner, your friends. Getting back to living life without your kids on your hip. So that's all I got for today. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next video.